Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet.
Now we're tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone.
Knicks down 3. Should the Bulls foul? No.
Be careful trying to play it a second time. Can't do it. There's St. Louis
On the field. It is
Anthony for 3.
bang! That one goes down, and the game is
And we're back.
Welcome back to New York Sports Deserve Better. Long week. Long week. Sorry we couldn't get a podcast out to you guys before. But we're back this week. Kyle, welcome back. You were in the last episode as an insider for the Ravens, but it's great to have you back as a co-host.
Not really. You guys fired me in like 5 minutes. I also have a microphone.
Oh yeah. Also, I got a microphone. Let me know how it sounds in the comments. So, also big news. We're on Apple Podcasts now, so go leave a review, rating. If you're watching this or listening to this on Apple Podcasts, definitely rate us 5 stars, subscribe, and leave a rating saying how we're the best. So Kyle's back. Bobby's taking his vacation time, even though he's supposed to go back playing football in a couple of weeks. So we may have seen the last of Bobby, and that's sad. But he'll always be a key guy for this program, and we'll miss him dearly. But for right now, we've got Kyle. Kyle, give us your thoughts on coming back to the program. As he drinks a Harvard mug. Would you go to Harvard? No, you go to TCU.
I'm really happy to be back. I don't know if you guys can tell. I've got my Harvard mug and my top 30% of GPA and all Greek life sweatshirt. Are either one of these things mine? No. I hate nerds. I bash them. But it's good to be back. I've got a few opinions. I'm going to say what I need to say. It's good to have a personality back on this podcast, so it's less bland. That was a shot at everybody that's fired me. Okay.
All right. We're going to start off this episode with a moment of silence for Sophia Franklin. So we're just going to take 5 seconds. Okay, that's good. What an idiot, right?
Yeah.
What a stupid idiot.
I felt pretty weird doing it, but I've been like following this whole saga pretty closely, and I just don't understand, like, for having the amount of chances that they, like, Alexandra, whatever her name is, like, I understand that she made it back and everyone's, like, praising her for, like, doing the right thing and, like, actually, like, taking the deal or whatever. She was probably, like, an idiot at first, too. But, like, the amount of chances that you got to, like, basically take a gold platter idea, you know, like, eventually you're going to have to take it. It's literally just absolutely mind-blowing. Like, it's almost crazy. Like going into a meeting and not want – it's like, what did they want? It's like she didn't want anything.
It made no sense. And for those of you guys don't know what we're talking about, it is the Call Her Daddy podcast. There was a huge little negotiation thing going on. They didn't drop a podcast in months. They're a Barstool Sports podcast, and they're a top podcast. So now that they kind of they gave us a chance to be the number one spot, but I think they're back on the air. So maybe the number one spot's back to them. Right. But
it's interesting. Their new co-host is someone named supposedly MILF Hunter, and ours is named Kyle Dunn. So we've got 2 very electric names.
It's like one of those things where they're 2 different names, but they mean the same thing, right? Exactly. Yeah. So we have so I mean, I think the most interesting part about that whole thing was I never watched or listened to an episode in my entire life. And I was fully, like, all of my attention was to this. And I think that's just because I'm in the podcast industry and everything, and I just want to know what's going on.
So much money, too. Right? If you hear the word $500,000, you're like, oh, my goodness.
The fact that they thought that was
Like,
too little was crazy. It's like we want $1 million.
like, I just didn't understand. It literally seemed like Alexandra, like, or whatever her name is, it seemed like she actually was like working towards a deal. And even when she was like saying no to stuff, it seemed like she was saying no because she was negotiating, which I completely understand. Even when she was like in her little video, when she was like, we went super high because then if they went low, we would have like a
Middle ground.
Like, middle ground, right? Classic negotiating. It seemed like Sophia wasn't even negotiating. She was just trying to like make everything 100 times more difficult. You know what I mean? Like you can be an asshole, excuse my language, and like still like because you want something, but then you just can be the same way and just like didn't want anything. Like nothing would have pleased her at all. She like has no idea how anything in the business world works.
It's actually crazy because she went up there and she's like, I just did it as a courtesy. And it's like, courtesy to what? Like they're giving you everything you asked for.
Exactly. It's like what? It's like you're not the one that owns the company. It's not your courtesy to give.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, like we want the IP, and they're like, fuck no, we're not giving you the IP. And then they gave him the IP. Do I know what IP means? No, I don't know what IP means.
Like the people, intellectual property, which is basically the brand.
Yeah, just the brand.
It's the only people that have had that is like Letterman.
Howard Stern,
and it's like this is your first year.
Yeah,
like
Sophia Franklin's
first year of our podcast. You know,
Sophia Franklin's like, no, I'm okay. No, and it's like, what are you thinking?
I just love all these gifs with the suit man.
Oh, suit man.
Gosh,
I think it would be more reasonable if people were like, if she was dating like one of us. And
him,
and we were the ones making the decisions. They'd be like, okay, that's more reasonable than Suitman. Suitman's ugly.
Either one of those girls, you're such an idiot. How do you go to sleep at night? How do you listen to their podcast and go to sleep after that?
I've listened to like clips and I get like super uncomfortable with.
I get really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I get really uncomfortable.
It's like I don't do any of the thing they're talking
I'm gonna
about.
have a daughter.
Is that what I have to do?
Jeez Louise.
I went to Catholic school, so I didn't get any sex ed or anything. So. Who knows?
They had like literally. I'm like waiting for them to talk about like the whole stork thing, or like you know like how babies are made, and it's nothing like that. It's completely different than anything I really expected.
I mean, it's disgusting what they talk about. But hey, if people listen. Maybe that's what we should talk about, even though we don't know the slightest about their experiences. Nor do we barely have any experiences ourselves. But yeah, you got a moment of silence.
Yeah, my moments of silence. I'd like to preempt the segment with this is probably my greatest work. This segment, moment of silence, and basically the reason I got fired from the pod is because I had one of the greatest moments of silence of all times. We might add in the clip, but we can talk about it another time. But my moment of silence is Tom Brady's driver. So let's give it a few seconds there. It's like you didn't even bring it out one time. You didn't bring out your driver one time.
Dude, I don't even think he brought it.
It could still be in Tampa, for all I know.
It's like, crazy.
But just like also like it's not like Brady got a bad swing or anything. Like how bad can you be with your driver that you didn't bring it out in one?
He had a good swing. All the balls were just flying either left or right.
By the way, that tracker for amateur ball flights is just
hilarious.
Absolute. It's brutal.
I would love to see like a tracking on my round because I'm doing the same things Brady. It's boom, 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 boom. But
I felt bad. He definitely turned it on. I think Phil and Brady, we're talking about the match, obviously, should have actually won because they had those two back-to-back putts to win the hole that were inside of 10 feet. It's like you just got to make one of them and you probably go into a sudden death and then you give yourself a chance. But it's just like hard to beat. If you're going with the last three holes and you're down 2 or down 1, it's just hard to beat Tiger because all the guy has to do is par, and it wasn't like Brady and they weren't getting any strokes at the end there. Brady.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think the whole thing was just like the fact that they were even like one down was wild to me.
Wild, yeah.
Because Brady played so bad, and also that
hole that Brady like made that shot in.
They tied the hole.
They tied the hole
because Tiger just was like, oh yeah, I'll take the easy way to get a birdie instead of.
Right.
And he also Tiger lipped out on that eagle putt too.
I know.
Like they should have lost that hole.
I think it should have been alternate shot the entire time.
If it was alternate shot the entire time, it would have been like really.
Guess what?
Fun.
If they played another 18 holes, I would not have gotten off my couch. I was so entertained the entire time.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I loved them. I loved like Phil and Tiger like trying to coach Brady and Peyton. It was like one of like oh yeah, like this is what the golfers like. This is what goes through the golfers' minds. And it's like Phil saying like, oh, the grass is tilted this way. If I would
about the grain of the grass.
yeah, it's like if I actually thought about that during a round, I would go batshit crazy because there's just no way my brain can handle all of that. It's like I got to pick my biggest decision is what club do I take out of my bag, and then I just hit it. It's not even like, well, how hard do I swing? It's just
also on putting when he was like, get it up to here and then it'll release. It's like I have swing thoughts for the first 3 holes, and then I'm so frustrated, and I've had 4 beers, and I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. This is taking too long. There's a guy behind me. You know? Like, sorry, I don't have all day.
The whole like golf, like the guy behind you thing, that's like the worst part about golf. If you're playing rushed or if you're slowed down during a round, golf is the least enjoyable thing ever. Also, if there's someone in your group taking it very seriously and you're just trying to have some fun, and people are like, "Oh, like you can't improve your lot," and it's like, dude, I'm on the fucking cart path, and it's just wild. It's just like
actually crazy that Tiger was not laid back until they were up 3.
Yeah, but also if
like,
you told
like he was just a little anxious.
If you told me Tiger wasn't gonna miss a fairway, I would have put $1 billion on Tiger and Peyton. He didn't miss a single fairway.
He just wasn't swinging hard. I love Phil. Phil's awesome. That shot he hit, that par 4 where he literally put it with his driver 3 feet to the pin was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I think I saw it like when like Phil was like trying to chirp back and forth with people. You kind of get the side of like golfers are a little weird.
Yeah,
you can just tell like they're a little weird, but they're awesome though.
Yeah,
they play a great sport.
Also, I just feel like if it wasn't on TV, they gotta like put this. They gotta put this on like
pay-per-view
or something where they can. But the problem is, all of them have such big brands.
Yeah,
that
they
can't really just like F around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You can't just drop whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, you know
like when
Brady said he dropped an F-bomb one time on a bad shot.
They blurred out a couple of words there, and
I would. The problem is, it's like you're never ever going to be able to watch on camera how that match would actually go. If it wasn't
you would have to. I mean, speaking of this match, we want another one. Who are the foursome that you want?
I literally could watch those 4 play each other a bunch of times. Then I saw something on Twitter. It was like MJ and Steph.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I don't think. I mean, the whole like Brady and Manning thing. The whole Brady and Manning thing.
Really good. He shot like a 74 on a web.com tour last.
Who Steph? Steph's like really good.
I know, but I just feel like Steph as a personality would just literally be so bland.
Yeah, but also at the same time though, like this match was fun because of like Brady and Manning, like they were like both head to head, and like people have arguments about like who's better and all this stuff.
Yeah, and
like no one's arguing Steph or MJ. If it was MJ and LeBron, that would be interesting.
I feel like LeBron sucks at golf.
Yeah, exactly. But LeBron sucks at golf.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and MJ would just stomp Steph. Like MJ's like actually serious, and Steph would be like out there like talking about charity and stuff, and like I understand it's for charity, but like Michael Jordan would step on his throat.
First of all, Michael Jordan would not do this for charity.
No, he wouldn't do it for charity.
No chance.
Unless he could put money in his pocket.
He would be. Michael Jordan would get up to the tee. First tee would be like $1 million this hole. Everyone would be like, okay, hold on, buddy.
How funny would it be if 3 of the group of the 4, like all their money went to charity, and then MJ was like, "Nah, mine doesn't," and just like played for personal gain the entire time.
Dude, how about Charles Barkley going up to Brady, like, talking to Brady like on the tee at the par 3, and he goes, "I'll give you $50,000 to charity if you just get it on the green," and then Brady goes, "Okay," shanks it into the woods, and Charles Barkley goes, "Should have said $50,000 if you can just keep it on the planet." I mean, it was just nuts. It was just all that the whole back and forth with like the commentators and the players like during the match. That was awesome.
On the phone was hilarious.
Yeah.
On the phone was when Brady like chips in for birdie to like for the $100,000, and then Koepka was like, "No, you actually still haven't had a par yet."
Yeah, you birdied.
And then our last moment of silence. Peter Dinklage. Okay, this is funny because we did this before.
It's not funny
tried
anymore.
To be serious. We've been and Danny said, "Who's Peter Dinklage?" And I said, "The midget from Game of Thrones." But I've been saying he's been dead for like months. I googled it the other day. He's alive. No need to worry. So, moment of silence for Peter Dinklage. He's not dead.
I mean, none of the people we said are dead. Well, the driver's pretty much dead because it's not a real
He
human
was never
thing.
alive.
I got to tell you about my the reason I was out for a week because I went to Providence last weekend, visiting a couple of seniors that were graduating,
Yeah.
and when I was out, I found out the hard way that telling every single girl you see that you have a podcast wasn't the right way to pick up girls, and I was shocked.
Did you just sit there and like put up the YouTube and let them listen to like 45 straight minutes? Just be like, I say something minute 37. You just gotta wait for it.
Yeah, like that's one of those things where it's like I went up there fully thinking like my podcast just took off. Everyone's gonna know what my podcast is. A decent amount of the fellows knew what the podcast was, and I think that's the reason I didn't get punched in the face. Because why would any senior want a junior coming in on their senior week? But I had a podcast, so I was cool.
Podcast, dude.
Yeah, I had a podcast, so I was cool. So, but the girls were like, "Why is this kid to keep saying that he's a podcast?" And I also had friends telling all the girls that I have 5,000 subscribers. And
only 5,000? I always said 500,000.
Yeah, they said 5,000.
At that point, you really gotta just lie.
They said 5,000, and then they ended up looking me up on YouTube, and they saw that I only had 65, and they were like incredibly disappointed. So another reminder: subscribe to this podcast on YouTube and Apple Music. Apple Podcasts. But there was this girl who was like, "Oh, you have a podcast?" And she was interested, and I was like, "Okay, maybe I can work with this." And she's like, "Oh, like, do you know my brother?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's a fan of the podcast." Joking, obviously. And then I looked him up on Instagram. He followed me on Instagram. So the whole bit the rest of the weekend was, your family is a fan of my podcast. And by the end of it, she, like, anytime she saw me, she ran away. And she goes, "I don't want to talk to podcast guy." And I was hurt.
No, it's kind of, she's just going to discriminate you and, like, throw you in as podcast guy. Danny, you're a lot more than just podcast guy to me.
Yeah, I'm fat guy, too. But yeah, in a couple years she'll regret the decision because we're gonna be huge.
Hilarious. We'll get her on the podcast, and as she gets on, we'll be like, "Hey, so bye." And just
exactly. I asked her actually.
Humiliate. By the way, in front of her family, who are fans of the pod.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I don't think her brother's a fan of the podcast anymore. Because I was next to her and I was looking through the Instagram. She goes, "Oh, like." I was like, is this actually your brother?" And she was going through the Instagram. She goes, "Yeah, that's me right there." And it was a picture from like a year ago, 2 years ago. And I decided to like it. And I liked the picture from like 2 years ago with the kid's sister in it. And then I woke up the next morning and I lost his follow.
That's weird.
I mean, waking up to a random podcaster liking a picture with their sister in it is probably not a great way to keep fans. But it was taken out of context.
That's how you learn your ride or die fans.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't handle me like You can't.
Also, huge shout out to Holden. He actually sent me the story that said that Dave Portnoy was taking auditions for the podcast, and I didn't realize it was only for girls, so I still sent my podcast in. You were in one of them, so I'm sure that we'll both get a piece of the pot there. But just fans like Holden that are reaching out, to giving me every opportunity I can get to get this thing off the ground. Appreciate you. Also, shout out to my fan account, the New York Sports Deserve Better commentary. You see that, Kyle?
Yeah, I do. Who is it?
I don't know. I have an idea of who it is, but I don't want to reveal the identity of him. It's not me. But I think it was truly hilarious to see that as a fan account. So I'm very proud of that.
That's Joe Kelly's podcast.
They got canceled by the basketball managers.
Yeah.
That's tough. Moment of silence for their podcast?
No.
Okay. No moment of silence. We appreciate you guys. So back to this whole podcast is called New York Sports Deserve Better. So obviously we need to throw in some New York news. Aaron Judge's girlfriend got pulled over for a DUI. And I mean, by no means, don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly, everybody. But she drank.
DUI or DUI?
It was a DUI. So she said she had 2 glasses of wine, and she blew a .12, and that's way above.
What type of was she? Were the glasses? So this is what I learned from that. If she had 2 glasses of wine, she must have been drinking out of giant jugs.
Yeah. So, and then
she had 2 really big glasses of wine.
So she's sitting there talking to all the cops, and she goes, "Wait, do you guys know who my boyfriend is?" And they're like, "No, why would we know who your boyfriend is?" And she's like, "Well, he's like a public figure. Like, this is really going to hurt his reputation." And he goes, and the cops are just like, "All right, like we'll try and keep it like low. Like, you're still arrested. Like, it's not going to get you out of this." And then
you still can't drink and drive, even though your boyfriend plays baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know if she saw that part of the laws in America, but yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the funny thing was the guy was like, "It's not going to get you out of this because you blew a .12, like it's way above the legal limit." And she's like, "It's not my fault. I'm like, my body weight can't handle alcohol." And it's like, it is your fault because you drank too much and then you hopped in a car. Also, she goes, "I'm just a couple miles down the road." The cop goes, "You're 8 miles away from your house." And she goes, "That's a couple miles." They go, "That's not a couple miles. That takes at least like 10, 15 minutes.
She basically, I feel like when cops go into training to like pull people over for DUIs, they have like a certain question they ask, and they probably give the cops like answers, red flag that they've been drinking. She hit every red flag on the entire thing, checked them all off, like every box that she was drunk.
And then she checked off all the excuses. She checked off, "I'm not that drunk.
Right,
I only drank 2 glasses." Yeah, she got.
I'm only a couple miles away.
I'm only a couple miles away. And then she finished it off with, "Do you know who my dad is?" Pretty much.
Right, and then it's not my fault. I just weigh not a lot.
Yeah, I'm just super skinny and hot, so I just didn't know I was drunk. It was like,
oh, poor you.
Yeah, poor you. Also,
like Aaron Judge doesn't have a car that drives you around all the time.
Probably not. Dude.
He's
probably gonna break up with her.
If I was a famous athlete, like Aaron, like not even Aaron Judge level, like all-star a few times, I don't think I would ever drive a car.
I hate driving, so I'm on your
side.
Why
would you ever drive a car? Why would you
ever
drive a car?
Why would you like order like a car service? It's just wasting money.
What do you mean?
Like Aaron Judge doesn't have that type of money yet. He hasn't hit his contract yet. He's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, I know, but dude,
he's still on that Collar Daddy deal.
Yeah, but like, how much does
obviously he's getting paid for incentives and bonuses?
If you make over $500,000, you're gonna afford us a car service. He doesn't pay for food. What does he pay for?
Probably does. He's in rehab and shit, dude. He pays for food.
No, dude. Baseball teams completely provide them every single day with food. Fact.
Man, I should have been a baseball player instead of a podcaster.
Instead of a podcaster.
Also, Little League World Series canceled. Rest in peace, moment of silence. All right. I mean, that's sad. As a former player of the Little League World Series, which I don't like to talk about a lot, which I do not like to talk about a lot. This is very sad news, and hearts go out to all those guys that worked their butts off for the past 3 years, and who kind of knew they were going to make it. We had a feeling my year that we were just going to make it. So if this happens, this would be truly devastating. And it's not like, we didn't get the chance to win. I think the whole point of the League World Series, the dream is to get there. It's not really to win, because once you get there, that's fine. But then you can kind of like, oh yeah, we can win this thing. But
right,
who cares if you win? You're in the highest stage. You get treated like celebrities. I actually have a story, to really show how much you get treated like celebrities. First of all, you walk around and you have your tag on so you can get back into the village, and people like kind of spot that out. Even if you wear like normal clothes, like they'll just immediately spot it out and like come, and you have like 40-year-old men like asking for your autograph. And it's like, this guy's the weirdest guy ever. He's asking a 12-year-old for his autograph.
He's like the same guy that goes to like late night kids movies by himself.
Yeah, exactly. And he's this is all in hopes of like if one of these kids makes it to the MLB, this autograph will be worth something someday. But if anybody on my team makes it, he's got a whole page of autographs from my team. I threw in a couple of sneaky penises in there while signing autographs.
You sound like it's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you got to do that. You're a 12-year-old kid. Why not? You're not going to make it big. Well, at least I didn't. And then also there's a VIP section, so you can all the players can watch the other games in peace. And we're sitting in there. It's like 4 of us, and we're sitting there, and these girls come up, and they have like pen and paper, and we're sitting there. We're like, oh, these girls are pretty cute. And then like we look over, and there's a bouncer at the chain, and when the bouncer looks over at us, and he goes like he gives us like a look like these girls good, and we gave the bouncer like let them in, and then we let these girls in. They're like the only girls that were in there, and they're sitting there. We're freaking. They're all over us because we're famous, and we're also 12, so it doesn't really matter. Unless you're like from California, and then California kids would definitely do something with these girls, but not me. I was too scared. But it was nice to talk to a girl. So sorry to all those guys that didn't make it and didn't have those experiences like I did.
Yeah,
also waking up to
I got cut from my Cooperstown team.
You got cut from your Cooperstown team. Well, Cooperstown's less.
Yeah, I know, but Wilton would have made it. I mean,
yeah. Well, we played Wilton.
Wow, yeah, I know, without me there.
Yeah. So yeah, hearts out to all those people. Also waking up to hundreds and hundreds of Instagram follower requests was kind of cool. I don't do that after every podcast now, which sucks, but it's fine. You have anything else? Oh, do we want to do a Who Deserves Better?
Yeah, let's do Who Deserves Better. You go first.
All right, my Who Deserves Better this week. It's a New York legend. It's a guy that really brought a lot of happiness to New York and was probably one of the last times Knicks fans ever felt happy.
Aaron Judge's girlfriend?
No, it's not Aaron Judge's girlfriend. That's Patrick Ewing. He went through Jordan beating him pretty much his entire career. Then he had to watch a 10-episode series on it where he said he didn't even watch it, but he just kept getting asked about it, which was even worse probably. And then as soon as he's like, okay, like the series is over, like I'm going to get stopped asking these questions, boom, coronavirus hits. Patrick Ewing has coronavirus. So, I mean, the guy deserves better. Mm-hmm. And our prayers and go out to him. Hopefully he recovers. We'd love to see you back in the Big East next year competing, even though Georgetown stinks. Mac McClung gone. But, I mean, hey, if anyone can do it, it's you, Pat. So
I got a good
hearts out to you. All right, Kyle, who deserves better? And then we'll wrap this baby up.
Scottie Pippen.
Oh, dude, come on.
What?
Go.
No, tell me why I'm wrong.
The guy stinks, dude. He's so soft.
Yeah, but he deserves better, dude. His wife cheated on him with Future. Brutal. Then wrote a song about it. Brutal. Everybody deserves better than that.
Go through it. Go through it.
You know what? No. I'll get a good one. Also, can I do another moment of silence? Russell Wilson's second button on his collared shirt. Did you watch that in the match yesterday?
No, I saw that he was there.
Literally the worst dude ever. 4 buttons all the way up to his neck, and he's like chalking on camera. I'm like, dude, you're actually the most uptight dude I've ever met in my entire life. Like, breathe. Let your neck breathe. Dude,
also hilarious how he's like, I'll do 100,000 for each ball that lands on the green, and then pretty much all 4 of them.
With an 8
of them go on, and you can just see his face like drop and drop every single time a ball.
Literally, Sierra's in the background. She's like, Future would have never done that.
Like, Future doesn't care about charity.
Yeah.
And then also during that, he was also giving like these like the ball would hit the green and be close. It would be like Peyton's shot was like maybe like 2 or 3 feet away from the hole, and Russ was like, "That was a good shot," and it was like Thanks, Russ. You're here to donate to charity. You're not here to
I hear
commentate.
that you're here to give such insightful comments, Russ.
Yeah, it's like you're an idiot, dude. Like leave the commentating to the guys. Like everyone who has eyes knows that's a good shot. Even if they don't know what golf is, there's a flag and then there's a ball 2 feet next to it. You don't need to say that was a nice shot. Like Russ, how about you get out there and hit the ball? But hey,
Bye, man.
was this a good episode?
I think so.
Let us know in the comments. But hey, it was good to have you back.
Thanks, man. I'll be here.
You'll be here. Bobby, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, hey, just get back soon, all right? Because I can't just keep grabbing old co-hosts out of the bag because, all right, we only have one.
Yeah, there's only so much of me that I'll give.
Exactly. So, yeah, let's wrap this up. Kyle, you have anything to say to the fans? You have anything to say to the fans?
I'm back.
Thanks, MJ. All right, so guys, that was the episode. It was good to have Kyle back on. Bobby is he just actually told me he's having back surgery this week, so he's not going to be on another episode just this week. We're going to have him back definitely. This is not the last of Bobby, like I said in the beginning. He's having back surgery, so I mean, we wish you the best, Bob. I hope everyone is send some love to Bob, tweet at him, say get better, speedy recovery, all that stuff. Wish him luck in surgery this upcoming week. So very nervous. It's not only is he my co-host, he's my best friend as well. So let's just send him all the love we can give him. I mean, it stinks to hear that type of news. It's just a minor surgery, though. Minor. He'll be back in no time, according to what Doc says. But, hey, still scary. So we love you, Bob. But as always, New York sports deserve better. I hope you guys have a great week.